International airports face many challenges. Their strength and reputation are often measured on how well they handle those challenges and how they keep their operations going when flights are either reduced or cancelled altogether. An airport's worth is measured by the strength of its resilience. In December 2010, Heathrow's resilience was challenged. The airport was closed for several days, with 4,000 flights cancelled, causing disruption to many airline schedules globally. As a result, the reputations of both Heathrow Airport and the UK were damaged.
Snow and ice continue to grip Britain.
As forecasters are predicting, there will be no let-up in the freezing conditions until
Tonight, as temperatures plunge again, hundreds of flights are being delayed or cancelled at airports across Britain. So why can't Heathrow cope?
Heathrow was coping well up until the middle of Saturday, although we'd had a long stretch of really cold weather. We had an extraordinarily intense snowfall in 90 minutes on Saturday afternoon. We cleared the runway relatively quickly and the taxiways. The thing we underestimated was how much time it was going to take to clear snow from underneath every single aircraft on its stand.
And I think Heathrow's closing last year was sort of something that a lot of people questioned, well, why? How come we weren't able to stay open? What was the issue around it when many other parts of the world seem to be able to cope with inclement weather, with snow, regular occurrence in other parts of the world? They seem to be able to manage this much more effectively.
I think the impact on Heathrow's reputation was that it was surprising that for such a large airport and an airport that has a lot of traffic going through it, that they weren't prepared for the snow, didn't have the facilities. Certainly you expected to be, flights to be disrupted for a few hours, but it was surprising that it had to shut down completely.
So why did this happen and how did Heathrow respond?
We needed to get the facts clearly on the table, well analysed. We needed to understand precisely what had happened.
Heathrow accepted all of the 14 recommendations made by the inquiry and set up a programme which was focused on delivering those recommendations and making sure that we were well prepared by the winter to cope with a snow event. That has required us mobilising a lot of resource, not just from within BAA, but also from our partner airlines, from air traffic control, and from other agencies.
So we have a workstream leader in each group with a large resource of people who have been mobilised across BAA and Ferrovial with the right skill set to deliver a complex programme in a short period of time.
So Initiative 1 is around making sure that we've got a robust snow plan for this coming season, and we spent a lot of time initially looking around the world to gauge where best practice was. We've learned from those particular areas, picked the best, if you like, from those areas and incorporated them in our plan. The next phase was to bring over a team from Spain, from Ferosa, and we've been working in partnership with them throughout the summer to get our plan fit for purpose going forward into the winter. We've invested £11 million as an airport in new snow equipment, and that is now all in place, ready for this season.
Initiative 2 is focused on making sure that at a time of crisis we can keep control of the airport and we can make sure that all of the various players are working well together.
What happened last year? We had over 170 flights cancelled. We had over 50,000 passengers impacted. So as you can imagine, we were not a happy customer. And we were very eager to contribute to the BAG inquiry, and we're extremely eager to actively contribute to the resilience programme.
The airline started off by being somewhat sceptical of the whole process. With discussion and collaboration, we now find ourselves in a different position. Indeed, there has probably been a step change in where we are now from where we were at the beginning.
We've looked at airport best practice, and together with our airlines we have developed a Heathrow Welfare Charter, the aim of which is to support passengers in times of disruption.
From a Heathrow community perspective, I think the passenger charter that has been developed as an output of the Heathrow resilience work is a very good piece of work which quite clearly describes what a passenger can expect from the airlines as well as from the airport authorities.
We are in the process of training 950 non-operational employees on welfare reservist roles which we can immediately mobilise into terminals to support passengers in future snow events.
I think one of the key things as a passenger is communication, and so if you're delayed then you want to know why you're delayed and what's going to happen, and just be kept informed on a regular basis.
Practice makes perfect. In Montreal we have well over 100 days of snow event during a year, and we're out there every single day practicing. The same applies in Heathrow.
What we've been focusing on is making sure that the processes, the people, the systems which we've introduced are properly tested. So we put a lot of focus on drilling, testing and making sure that we learn from any mistakes in those drills and improve ourselves.
These approaches have already been put to good test with the ash clouds and the UK Border Agency strike.
No, I find Heathrow both the best airport in the world and in some areas actually one of the worst airports in the world. And I think that's probably one of the things as a passenger you really want to have a consistent, predictable and ideally excellent experience.
At Virgin Atlantic, we're all about delivering a brilliant end-to-end experience. And the airport experience is a key part of that.
Heathrow is the biggest international airport. It's known to everyone. When the minute they come in the aviation, they know they hear about Heathrow. We're the biggest airport. We need to be the best.
The growth engine of the global economy is shifting. There's an enormous amount of competition. Other airports around Europe, Frankfurt, Madrid, for example, are keen to get a hold of that activity because they want to channel that growth into their domestic economies. So the ability to offer reliable service, a very customer-oriented service in a very competitive environment are critical issues for airports.
We operate a global network and Heathrow is our most important hub. So obviously the resilience of Heathrow is key to Virgin Atlantic. But this is not just about us. Heathrow, as the main aviation gateway to the UK, is important to the whole country.
The key message is that for things to work well for passengers, all of the different moving parts within Heathrow have to be well coordinated, well integrated. That means we have to collaborate actively with airlines, with ground handlers, with immigration, with police, especially in times of disruption.
By demonstrating increased resilience, Heathrow is sending a strong message to the airlines. Except for extreme situations, we're open for business.